Hey, so I wanted to put this video together to, I don't know, see if I get any better at video production and putting these rides together and see how they go. So I basically started out on motorcycles since I was a little kid, probably under 2 years old. My dad would put me on the tank of his motorcycles and I'd hang on to the handlebars. And we'd go out and about, and I don't know, street and off-road and deserts and the Knolls Desert, Little Sahara. I remember riding a little scared, like hanging onto the front handlebars, and he'd go kind of fast and I'd just be sitting on the tank. So that's kind of how I got started. Eventually I got my own dirt bikes and we'd just go play around in Moab and various places like that until I was about 17, almost 18 years old. I got my own street bike and we'd go to Yellowstone National Park, northern Oregon coast, down to northern California, go to Southern California, just various places. Went to Sturgis back in 1996. I think even before all that, I was 14. We'd go down to California and I was a passenger on the back of his Honda Goldwing, and he dumped it on the street, on the road, on the freeway. He took a turn, took an exit, a little too fast, and eventually put the bike down and doing like, I don't know, 50, 60 miles an hour around the curve. And I just remember seeing my dad sliding on his face, on his arms, and the bike going up and tumbling a little bit in the air, and me just sliding on the back. So I got some road rash and some scars on my knees from that almost faded away, but my dad had some nice road rash on his forearms. That was kind of fun. I was about 14 at the time. But as with many things in life that has a lot of enjoyment and fun and adventure, there's a little bit of a danger, I guess, to be had with it. It's just part of the deal. One of my favorite motorcycles I've ever had was a 1982 Shovelhead FXWG. It's a wide glide. It's a beautiful bike. It was Harley Davidson as well. I wrecked it, unfortunately. I was going in a neighborhood, and just shortly after I bought it, like maybe 2-3 months after I bought it, at an auction in Las Vegas with my dad in early 1996. I took it around a corner and hit a rock, hitting the brakes, and just it slid out from underneath me, and it hit a curb. It flipped over, took my left knee with it. My ACL got torn. As I stood up, it kind of popped, and that was one of the worst pains I ever had. My dad came and got me, and we put the bike on the trailer, and that experience was pretty much what got me out of the Marine Corps. I was in the Marine Corps Reserves for a few years, and that injury pretty much took me out. Got an honorable medical discharge, but I was able to move on to my next thing in life. Keep on going to school and start working at my dad's mortgage company and as a mortgage loan processor. And we went on some more adventures, and eventually I fixed that bike up. I tore it down, fixed it up, and got all ready just in time to go to Sturgis in August of 1996. That's probably one of the funnest experiences I've had at that age with my dad. And now 20 some odd years later, I finally got another bike that's gonna be on some many adventures. My wife, and a new chapter starts. So on this ride, I took a route that heads past, well, basically from my house over to Emmett, Idaho, down into the valley, up towards Black Canyon Reservoir, and which eventually winds through some farmland and some hills and mountains, gets over to Horseshoe Bend, and you make a left-hand turn to head up north towards McCall, Idaho. I didn't get that far because that's about 2 hours away from where I was, but you ride along the Payette River, get into a place, you pass an area called Banks, Idaho, where they do river rafting, where they drop into the river. But you go up further up into this area that has pine trees and beautiful smells of the river on the side of the road. The cooler air and the shade just drops about 20 degrees, it seems like. But the wind in the face and the temperature changes, the smells of the trees and the river even, and skunks and dead carcasses on the road, that's all part of the experience. I'll never and can never get motorcycling out of my system. Had a long time where I just didn't have a bike in my life and had to be patient, I guess, and wait it out and go 20 years or so, 22 or 3 years without a motorcycle. But eventually I win and get what I want in the end. And here we are, enjoying life and having a beautiful Sunday. Keep enjoying.
So I've come up towards McCall, Idaho, and this is like the mountain, whatever, the road that goes up to McCall along the Payette River down below. It's pretty much one of the nicest rides you can go on in the area on a motorcycle, which is the thing you see before you. It's probably one of the nicest rides I've done so far this year. It's like the warmest day of the year. It's like 85 degrees. So nice. The thing I forgot to say is, yeah, I need to get a seat really soon. My wife's getting a little bit antsy, upset, waiting for me to get a seat for her. So, and foot pegs, of course, because my bike didn't come with foot pegs for passenger or a seat. But I'm getting one of those, well, those things end of this month. I can't stop looking at this thing. I got my new license plate holder. Gotta have that. It's good looking. Anyway, beautiful ride, beautiful day. I cannot ask for more except for having my wife and me with me. That would make it perfect. But that's coming up next. All right, let's keep on going. I better go home, actually.
Another fun thing about motorcycle riding is the brotherhood and the connection you have with other motorcyclists on the road. There's kind of a typical wave that we give each other for being on the road and enjoying the nature and being out on the bike. It's a connection that's hard to find anywhere else. I honestly can't stand being inside of a car on the road like this. It's absolutely boring to me, and it's just monotonous and mundane. There's nothing like being on a motorcycle on the road, feeling the air and the breeze and the smells again. But it's much like in the Marine Corps when I served in the Marines, and even though I didn't do any combat, but I still have a connection with other service members, especially other Marines. We're kind of a brotherhood, and it's similar to the motorcyclist community. It's kind of a fun thing to be part of. It's what drives me to get out there and do it again. Hope you enjoyed the video, and be careful with motorcyclists out there. Please watch for them. There's already been a few deaths this year. Let's keep our eyes open. And motorcyclists, don't be stupid. Ride right, be safe, and don't speed around cars. That's all. Have a great day.